So before giving his completely deranged CPAC speech, Donald Trump actually took some questions. And there were actually some interesting questions asked. And Trump was visibly sweaty, disheveled. He seemed confused by many of the questions. But some of the questions were actually pretty interesting. And this one, this one would almost make you blush if Trump answered it any other way. Trump was asked, as many of you may have heard, the president of Ukraine has stayed in Ukraine and is fighting. He's fighting in Ukraine, trying to repel the Russian invasion. And Trump was asked, if you were in such a situation, would you also stay and fight? And it's like, of course he wouldn't. Of course we would. Trump would be the first guy out. He'd say, please evacuate me. And Trump knows he can't say I would be fighting because no one would believe it. So even he has to kind of hedge. It's pretty interesting. Take a look at this.
Zelensky. And, he's not abandoning his people. He's staying and taking up arms with his countrymen. If you were in a similar situation as president, would you take up arms like Zelensky?
Well, you never know about bravery. Some people think they're brave and they're not brave, and other people don't think of themselves as very brave and they step up. You never know until you get tested.
Even for Trump, it would be too much to say I would be out there with a rifle. Absolutely. And so it's actually, he has this moment where he knows he can't say that. Nobody would believe that. I think we know the answer. Trump would not be taking up arms like Zelensky. Trump would be either in the bunker or in another country altogether. And listen, it's more likely Trump would give away classified documents if he was in Zelensky's position than he would stay and take up arms and fight anybody. Trump was then asked, and this was pretty interesting, what would you do differently on Ukraine than Biden? Because Trump's saying Biden's doing everything wrong. And Trump says, I guess for security reasons, he doesn't want to tell you what he would do differently.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would do things, but the last thing I want to do is say it right now, because if somebody asks me that is in a position where they can utilize whatever it is I give them, but I certainly wouldn't want to be talking about.
Right. No, it's just not appropriate. And of course, he has no idea of what he would do differently. He says it's Biden's fault, but this is sort of like he's prepared to release his healthcare plan soon. And he's going to give us the evidence of voter fraud soon. It's all just around the corner. Also, his infrastructure plan. Now later in the interview, and this is kind of in a different moment, Trump is asked about what about this? He actually does answer one thing he would do, and he says he would get Russia out of SWIFT, the SWIFT banking system, which happened hours before this. Trump apparently just didn't know that.
Very, very important question to be asked. What is the one sanction or the two sanctions that have not been implemented to stop Vladimir Putin that you would implement given a Trump presidency?
Right.
Sanctions. Now, you have to understand, sanctions are very expensive for our country also. But the one that people are talking about, which is very, very severe, as you know, is SWIFT. And that just really destroys a banking system of a country. It's a very big step, and we'll see whether or not that step is taken. But thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people could die with this, and this could spread to other countries, and it could spread throughout the world. I mean, this could be a world war.
Yes. Okay. So now Trump changing his tune and saying this actually could become a world war. But at the time that he said the one thing that you could look at doing is SWIFT, it had been done, that it happened hours before. Trump apparently didn't know. So those are the Trump interviews. That's the Trump speech. It was wacky. We'll have some of these clips on our Instagram, which you can find at David Pakman Show. And then after the break, we'll look at the non-Trump craziness that happened at CPAC. One of our sponsors is Curiosity Stream, the only subscription streaming service just for documentaries. I've been watching Curiosity Stream at home for over a year now. Really no better place to find the newest and best documentaries. Curiosity Stream's selection is way better than any other platform. I recently watched the documentary Return of the Buffalo, a fascinating animal and fascinating things to know about conservation of the buffalo as well. Curiosity Stream adds new titles every month. You're never going to run out of great documentary content. You can learn something new, zone out on a nature documentary, whatever you're looking for, they have it. If you love documentaries, you are missing out if you don't have Curiosity Stream. It's super affordable. Curiosity Stream is giving my audience 25% off, which means you can get it for $15 a year. Go to curiositystream.com/Pacman. The link is underneath this video.